Hey guys, it's Sheriden here. If you missed the live stream of the Guild Summit event, then you've missed out big time. Not only did it bring a ton of new information, but the dev team gave us a detailed response for a lot of the big questions and the future of SWTOR. I've been really impressed with it, and I hope to see more like it through the year. It's only a shame I could not attend it myself. What you're watching right now is the patch 1.2 trailer, which gives you a preview of some of the most interesting features available. But I will now go over some of the best bits of info from the event, so you don't have to read big walls of text. The first bit of news is that the patch is now set for an early April release, rather than the end of March. Personally, I'm glad they're not going to rush it out, because if it isn't ready, well, don't release it. We don't need a super buggy update. I'm sure you'll agree. What's new for PvP? Well, there's a brand new warzone called Novair Coast. It'll require majority control of objectives. You will need to control at least 2 out of 3 objectives in order to do damage to the fortification. 1.2 will also bring ranked PvP pre-season, where character ratings for both solo and group play will be introduced. This is based on the ELO system. Google it if you're not sure what it is. They are also introducing new Warzone daily quests, requiring you to win a certain number of medals rather than just winning the Warzone. As well as this, 18 new medals are being added for objectives as well as participation in actual gameplay and performance. Examples include planting bombs and scoring balls. A vote kick option is being added, which will replace said person with someone currently waiting in queue. There will be measures in place to prevent abuse of this tool. They also plan to add a medal cap, so the point of playing won't be just medal farming, but also to win and work as a team. They are also introducing the next tier of PvP gear, under the name War Hero. You'll get this gear from doing rated war zones, and getting rated warzone commendations. PvP gear will have a greater stat difference over PvE gear, to minimise the crossover. They are also adding entry-level PvP gear buyable with credits to help new players or olds get into PvP. They are also finally removing the crappy bag system for PvP gear. So, what do they have planned for the future of PvP? Well, they're working on allowing all warzones to be same faction, meaning you'll get to play a nice mix of all the warzones, not just Hotball. Warzones will be made cross-server as soon as possible. This should help low population servers and also PvP queuing in general. The dev team also discussed a possible bracketed tournament system, as well as the introduction of full 8-man pre-mades for rated warzones. This will eventually allow for the setup of teams. The dev team also want to allow for pre-mades to stay in the same group after a warzone finishes, finally. They also admitted that Illium didn't quite go as planned, and they want to do a complete redesign of the open world PvP zone. The details are to come soon. Okay, so that's about it for the PvP. Now it's time for some PvE operations and flashpoints. First up, there's going to be a new operation, Explosive Conflict. It will be much harder than the current raiding content, and will involve much more coordination and execution rather than just gear checks. The operation takes place on Denova and will be a tier 2 raid. The operation won't come with a nightmare available on patch launch. Why? Because they want more time in order to add new and additional mechanics rather than simply having higher health and damage outputs. They want Nightmare to be a real nightmare, which is good news for me. The normal mode version for operations will now be called Story Mode, which will focus more on fun and enjoyment rather than a step on the gear up ladder. This mode is not meant for guilds and is aimed more at pugs or those who want to socialise and people who don't PvE much or want to see what it's all about. They promise that operations will have a much higher polish than previously, and bugs are the highest priority. There is a brand new flashpoint available, The Lost Island, which will finish off the Ragul story from patch 1.1. They also plan to add in a group finder tool in patch 1.3. This tool will allow you to find people for both heroic quests and flashpoints. They'll be keeping it single server only, so don't worry about any negative effects on the community, which we've all seen happen in other games. As for the future of flashpoints, they aim for it to take a bigger role in end game progression, compared to what they do at current. That's it for PvE. The next major subject discussed, and one of the main features of the 1.2 patch update, is the legacy system. The legacy system was actually in development from the very start of the game, but it was so vast and complicated it was a bit too much of a risk for them to put it out at the launch of the game. But now, finally the time has come, and I think you will all be very impressed. If you've unsubbed for whatever reason, you're going to want to come back. This is one of the unique features of SWTOR, and it'll make it shine out above all other MMOs in my opinion. The legacy system will function like a family tree for all of your characters. This can range all the way from allies, friends, children, wives, husbands, and even your nemesis. You will be able to unlock species for all of your alts, for example, a pureblood Jedi. Leveling different classes and races will give you buffs for your alts. Examples include level 50 human, this will unlock a presence buff, where a level 50 cyborg will unlock access to all the cyborg attachments. When you complete chapter 2 of your class quest, you'll gain access to some special class emotes. You'll also gain that class's buff for all of your alts. When you complete chapter 3 of your class quest, you'll unlock the heroic abilities for all of your legacy characters. These abilities will require companions to use, much like the heroic moment abilities we have today, so you won't be able to use it in war zones or operations. They are instead aimed at leveling or questing. One example given was the Sith Warrior, which unlocks the Force Choke ability for all of your alts. If you complete your companion character storyline, you'll gain a shorter cooldown on heroic abilities as well as a longer duration and a stat boost for the first of each type of role that they provide. For example, a smuggler who completes Corso Rig's storyline will unlock a shorter cooldown and a longer duration heroic moment for all of the legacy characters. As well as this, it'll give them an accuracy boost since he's a ranged tank, whereas Risha will give a crit boost since they're ranged DPS. Legacy will also unlock a special jetpack which gives you a short duration sprint. This is basically rank 2 of the current sprint, and rank 1 is being pushed back down to level 1. Legacy will also unlock the special items for your ship, such as dummies to test your rotations on, a repair droid who allows you to repair and sell stuff to, mailboxes, and at the highest levels, an actual GTN network terminal, as in auction house on your ship. It will also unlock special unique orange gear. There will also be something called legacy token drops, which will allow you to buy weapons and armor that don't scale with levels. Legacy will also unlock additional cooldown reductions for the quick travel and emergency fleet pass. Your Valor ranks will also unlock legacy unarmed duels, giving you unarmed combat moves for dueling where you can't equip weapons. Social ranks will unlock a special dance with your companion, as well as new emotes and general role-playing package. It's worth pointing out that most of these legacy rewards can be unlocked or optionally purchased with credits if you prefer, although some of the rewards won't be available right off the bat. For the future, they plan to add character-specific rewards such as a PvP or a PVE specific buff, depending on which one you prefer to level with. So, are you as blown away as I am? Well, be sure to comment below and let me know. I'll bring you part 2 as soon as possible, which will cover details on the user interface and guild improvements. I'll see you on the next episode, guys.